Hey, what's up, guys? This is Nick. This is going to be a different kind of video. It's kind of me, just a ton of thoughts pouring through the head over Star Wars, where it is right now, where it's going, where it could possibly end up. And it's really one of those kind of discussion videos where I would love to get you all commenting on it so I could get your 2 cents on the video and see what you guys think about it. So, rolling right along into it, let's get to where we are right now. So episode 9 has just started filming. We're about to wrap up the Skywalker saga. And it just started making me think. Now, a while back, I don't know if any of you guys follow my Instagram page. If you don't, please do. It's Star Wars Outer Rim Empire, but instead of Star Wars, it's SW. So SW Outer Rim Empire. I posted something a while ago. Now, with all the backlash from The Last Jedi, and a lot of the people that got upset about it, it just makes me think, okay, take a step back and look where we are right now, where we are with the series going into 9. And I also polled this question too. Let's just say episode 4, 5, and 6 never took place. We are starting from 1. We got the first Star Wars, episode 1, Phantom Menace. This is where we are. We know nothing else. We're starting from the beginning. We haven't seen anything. We don't even know who Luke Skywalker is. And we get to episode 4. So episode 4 comes along. Here we are. And let's just say there's a nice big gap between episode 3 and 4. And you get to the end of the film and you see Obi-Wan make that sacrifice. Obi-Wan sacrifices himself. He tells Darth Vader, strike me down now and I'll become more powerful than you can ever imagine. That's the end of Obi-Wan. We continue on. Do you think people would have that same hate and backlash towards George Lucas and the films when we all know, let's be honest, Star Wars is recycled content. It's the same story, but it's told well, it's one story, but it's told so many different times over and over again. A lot of parts of 1, 2, and 3 were in 4, 5, and 6, and a lot of parts of 7, 8, and I promise you 9 are in all the other movies. We're just seeing the same thing over and over again. And here, fast forward to episode 8, The Last Jedi, and there's Luke telling Ben, strike me down, and I'll always be with you. I'll pretty much, I'm going to be a part of the Force. I'm going to be more powerful. You're never going to lose me. It's the same thing. The journey of our heroes in Star Wars, I don't think it really matters how you get there. It's just really how it ends. And you can't sit here and say to yourselves, especially for those that, and I'm sure a couple of you that are watching this didn't care for The Last Jedi, and that's okay. I'm not trying to convince you that you should like it. I'm just saying, take a look at it. Here's a man, Luke Skywalker, his whole life, all he wanted to do was, in the beginning, what we knew about him is I want to join, I want to be like my father, and I want to be a part of the Rebel Alliance and defeat the Empire. Yeah, that go get it kind of, I want to be the hero. Okay, so he gets there. He goes through this crazy gauntlet of shit to finally get to the end. He finally, after everything he went through, turns his father. He felt the conflict within him. I know that there's good still left in this man. I want to make my father what he truly is, which is a Jedi. So Luke does all of this stuff. Finally, his father turns. He's got a smile on his face now. All is right. And then he starts rebuilding the Jedi Order, and shocker, once again, like I just said before, recycled. Here we are with another story about somebody else now a part of this family that turns to the dark side, wipes out everything. You don't think that a man, if this was a real life scenario in the real world, imagine what that does to you. A man that's already gone through all this. And Luke is much older now. He's much wiser, but he's seen enough to say to himself, shit, how much more can I take? So it's not that crazy to think that he could be somewhere out in the universe, kind of like just in seclusion. Leave me alone. I'm out here. Just leave me alone. I've done enough. I've seen enough. I thought everything was fixed once, but it'll never be. There will always be dark. There will always be light. And how much more can I take? But in the end, Luke understands what he has to become because Yoda tells him that. Failure. Use that as a tool. It's your greatest teacher, and just pass that along. So Luke ends up in the end doing exactly what Obi-Wan did. He made that sacrifice for everybody else to survive. And by saying the same thing too, I'm always going to be here. Strike me down. I'm going to be I'll be even more powerful. I'm always going to be with you. So there's nothing wrong with the way that that film ended up and what it got us to now. There's nothing wrong with it at all. And I think if, the first time I watched The Last Jedi, yeah, there were some things about it I didn't care for. I didn't really like the way that Finn and Rose had their little adventure. To be honest, I don't really care for Rose as a character, but I didn't hate it. I didn't really care for Finn's storyline, but I didn't hate it. I would have just probably done something else. Hell, you could have had Finn in a coma the entire movie and just had him pop up at the end, because really they were just filling some screen time. But, I understand Rian Johnson's take on it. I get where he went with the character. And after I've watched it a second, a third, and a fourth, and a fifth time, and the more you watch it, it just starts becoming more clear to you how they're going about this story. So, wrapping it up in 9, I don't see Luke being any different than the way Obi-Wan guided him. He will be the one to guide Rey. And I can see that's the way that you'll finish it out. But I don't know necessarily if they're going to just wipe out Ren and wipe out the First Order. They'll probably get wiped. They'll probably fall apart. But there has to be balance. There's always going to be evil. There's always going to be good. It's the balance in between. That's the whole point. Is finding right down the middle. That's the whole point of what this story is. It's to get to that moment to where, okay, finally we have something as close to true balance. And that's how I can see episode 9 wrapping up. Now, when it comes to the new trilogies, Rian Johnson's doing one, the guys from Game of Thrones are doing one. I have no idea what they're going to do. They're pretty much keeping that as secret as possible. But you could do anything. You could explore brand new stories. I think after a while, once we get to 9 and 9 finishes, all of us, including myself, and I'm a huge Star Wars fan, we're all going to be ready to move on to something different, something new. Give me something fresh. It can be in the same galaxy. It could be in another galaxy. I really don't care where you put it. But whatever it is, it just needs to, kind of, as long as it has that feel of Star Wars, that's all we really care about in the end. I still have hopes that the Game of Thrones guys are going to be able to do the Old Republic. They haven't answered no to that question. So I pray that we get some really, really good storytelling from the Old Republic, because I think that's absolutely perfectly primed to be a movie. If you had a trilogy based on Revan, holy shit, I'm in, everybody would be in. It would be really, really cool to see. So, I mean, that's it. Like I said, this is more of a kind of a conversation piece. If you guys actually have made it this far, I appreciate you listening this far. But go ahead and comment below. Let me know what you guys think with where it began. I'll ask that question again. You can answer it. If they started from 1, do you think we'd get that much backlash from fans over the way Obi-Wan died? And if so, then how do you really see it that different than Luke's? The only difference is if Luke ended Return of the Jedi and he was supposed to be looking over somebody, it'd be a little bit different, because I actually had somebody send me a message on Instagram saying, well, it's two different. Obi-Wan didn't end the coward's way. He didn't go into hiding. No, he had an even bigger job to do. He was watching over Luke, which was huge. So you can't really compare those two. But go ahead and comment below. Let me know what you guys think. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you around.